Hello, 7th grade honors students and 8th grade math students. Today we are learning about proportional and non-proportional functions. It is super easy, easy 100 for everybody. All right, guys. So what I wanted to talk to you about really quickly before we start, I need you to understand that if you can write an equation or take a table with x and y coordinates, or not even x and y coordinates, but just a table, and we have an x side and a y side. If you can take that and you can get a consistent slope, so a consistent or a direct variation or constant rate of change, if you can get the same slope each time going down in the table and plug it in for m, and you can write your formula this way, that is proportional. Now, take the same thing, but let's say you have a y-intercept that's not 0. Because see, like if you think about it like this would be plus 0, right? So it would go through 0, 0, basically, right? So we got plus 0, but if you have to add a y-intercept to it, so say negative 5 or positive 10, that is going to be non-proportional, because if you think about it, a line, in order for it to be linear, it has to go through the origin. We've talked about this. Has to pass through the origin, okay, 0, 0, and go up the same amount, the slope. We didn't really discuss that till now, but when it goes through the origin, it has to be a straight line and go through the origin. And now the slope is rise over run, so going up and over, or down and left. So if it goes through the origin, if you can write it as y equals mx, and you just erase that, it's proportional. If we can't, it's not proportional. And if the slope is not the same, or the constant rate of change is not a constant rate of change or a direct variation, that is going to be a non-proportional function. Okay, so I'm going to screen record, and I'm going to show you some examples that came with the textbook. If you have a question, please raise your hand or email me if you're virtual. You guys have got to ask questions because this follows you. We've seen that, guys. So we're going to start with example 1, Palos Portraits charges $12 per photo with no sitting fee. The graph shows the fees for Clear Image Studio. Determine whether the function is proportional or non-proportional. Justify your response. Okay, so looking at just the graph right now, if you look at this, and I want you, hopefully you can see my mouse. I never know until y'all start watching it. But if you look at the graph, it is going through the origin 0, 0 right down here. I can see it goes through the origin. It is a straight line, and I can see right now by the looks of it that this is a proportional function. But we need to check, I guess, to be sure. If we wanted to double check, we would find the coordinates. We've got 1, our x-coordinate is 1 for this first dot, 1 and 12. So I'm just going to put it down just like this, 1 and 12. The second dot is 2 and 24. The third dot is 3 and 36. I can tell this is going up. And 4 and 48. Okay, so I can see that this is 12 over 1 right here. This would be 24 over 2, which would equal 12 over 1, or just straight 12. This would be 36 over 3, which would equal 12 over 1. And then 48 over 4 would also equal 12 over 1. So yeah, I'm going to say that the Clear Image Studio is a proportional, not proportional function. But I do want to throw this out there. If there had been a sitting fee, so a lot of times, boys, you probably don't know, but girls will know, when you go to a photographer that they don't know if you're going to buy pictures, so they usually charge like $75, $100, sometimes more sitting fee, sometimes cheaper. And you're just paying them the sitting fee just to sit there and take pictures, okay? So if there had been a sitting fee charged in this case, that would, say it was $20. We would start We wouldn't start at the origin. It would cross the y-axis at $20, and this would be considered non-proportional. So I just wanted to throw that out there because there would be a plus $20, okay? So just throwing that out there. But that clear image is a proportional function. All right, so let's look at this one. Number 2, Joshua earns a salary plus a commission for every painting he sells. The equation C equals cost or commission equals 40 times the painting plus $75, where C is the commission in dollars and P is the number of paintings, represent how much he earns. Martin's commissions are shown in the table. Determine whether this function is proportional or non-proportional. So he earns a salary plus commission, okay? The $75 is probably his salary. So if he sells one painting, he's making a $115 commission. 2 paintings, $150. 3 paintings, $185. This is not written in y equals mx form, so this is going to be a non-proportional function. But even if you look at the commissions and you look at the 115 over 1, that is as reduced as it can be. 150 over 2, not as reduced as it could be, which would be 714, which would be 75 over 1, right there. So, right there, that's not the same. These are not equal. And then 185 over 3 is not, because 185 divided by 3 is 618. 61, so point something. So that is a non-proportional function. And just real quick, if you look at these, we can look at this and see. We can already look at, they want us to say the table shows the cost for traveling on a toll road in Henderson. The graph shows the cost of traveling on a toll road in Clarkston. Compare the linear functions to determine whether they are proportional or non-proportional. Justify a response. So if you look at Clarkston, this is not going through the origin. It starts at 2. This is going to be a non-proportional function. If we look at this, this is x and y, 10 and 3. And 20 and 6 and 30 and 9. 10 over 3 is as reduced as it will get. Let's check out 20 over 6. I can divide both of them by 2, and I get 10 over 3. So it's looking good. Then, I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me come up here. So I don't know if you can see it. 30 over 9. You can divide both by 3, and we will get 10 over 3. So Clarkston would be considered proportional. Henderson would be proportional. Clarkston would be non-proportional.